A very good morning to my dear students of class 6, and I am happy to welcome you all to today's botany class. What are we going to learn today? Our today's topic is going to be about grassland habitat. So what is today's topic? Grassland habitat. In your previous botany class you have studied about tropical rainforest as habitat, right? So what is the title of this lesson? What are we studying about? We are studying about habitats and adaptations. What is it, habitat and adaptation? So according to the different habitats, how plants and animals are getting adapted themselves is the lesson what we are learning about, right? So we are learning about different habitats and how the plants and animals are getting adapted to that particular habitat. So today we will learn how the plants and animals in grassland habitat adapt themselves. So let's get started. So before learning about the adaptations all, let's know what is a grassland habitat. Okay, so what is a grassland? See, this is a grassland, and obviously as the name suggests, grassland means somewhere a place with grasses. So in a grassland you will have grasses, but there are no trees or woody plants. What are woody plants? Woody plants means plants which will have wood in them. The stem or the bark will be woody in nature, no? Like that, nothing you will find in this grassland habitat. Can you see trees all here? Very rare, no? Even if it is present, it is rare. So usually grasslands will not have any trees or woody plants, but what they will have? They will have only grasses covered, and this grass will not be of one particular type. In grasses itself there are many types of grasses, so there are different species of grasses in a grassland habitat. This also you have to keep in mind. Don't imagine that all the grasses will be of same type. Though it is a grassland habitat, there are different types of grasses present in a grassland. Okay, and what about the temperature here? The temperature may vary. It is not always the same in a grassland habitat. There is fluctuations or variations in the temperature according to the seasons. Okay, so what is a grassland? A grassland is an area where it is covered by grasses which belong to different species or types, and you don't find any trees or woody plants, and even if you find trees or plants, it is very rare in nature, and the temperature here will vary time to time. And then why there are no woody plants? I told you in the grasslands you can find only the grasses but no woody plants, no? Why is it so? Why there are no woody plants? There are some reasons given. Let's see one by one. The first reason is grazing. See, you can see the herbivores like goats or cows always grazing the grasses, no? They don't prefer usually shrubs or herbs or tree leaves. They do feed them, but whenever grasses are absent only they prefer these leaves of other plants all or trees all. First of all, it can't reach properly also, and whenever there is grass and herbs, no, if you observe the goats or cows grazing, it will prefer grasses only first. So in a grassland obviously the herbivores will grass or eat the grasses. Grazing means eating the grasses. Okay, so they will eat the grasses frequently, so there are no woody plants. Like when the plant is small itself, the cow or the sheep or whatever animal will eat them, so that the plants will not grow tall. Before that it is eaten by the herbivores. And then lack of rainfall. See, for a tree to grow well all, you need so much of rainfall, no? Here when you see in the grassland, the rainfall is comparatively very less only. How much rain you can find? It is less than the forest. In forest areas usually you find frequent rainfall and heavy rainfall, no? So such rainfall is not present, but it is more than the desert, which means in desert you don't have complete rainfall, no? There is no rainfall at all in the desert, right? But in the grassland it is not like the desert with no rainfall, as well as it is not like a forest with heavy rainfall. In between somewhere with mild rainfall, the grassland ecosystem will or habitat will exist. Do you understand? The rainfall is less than the forest but more than the desert. It is not as frequent as the forest, and also it is not like there is no rainfall at all like the desert. There is little rainfall. And then frequent fires. And why there are no trees? There are like forest fires, all have you heard? It happens by itself whenever two plants stones scratch to each other will create fire, no? Like that, when two trees scratch themselves, fire is produced in a grassland or in a forest frequently. So because of fires also, big plants do not exist. Even if they try to grow, it will be destroyed because of the fire. Okay, so why there are no woody plants? Because before it turns to a tree, it is grazed by the herbivores, and lack of rainfall, because there is no water to support the growth of trees or woody plants. Also there is no woody plants in a grassland, and less rainfall also does not support, that is the rainfall is less than the forest and more than the desert, but it is not adequate enough for a woody plant to grow. And then frequent fires also will not let a tree to grow in a grassland habitat. Clear? And then what all plants can you see in a grassland habitat? You can see grasses which are very tall, up to 6 feet tall. 6 feet means it is taller than me. Okay, so taller than human beings you can find the grasses. See here, can you see the grasses? It is very tall, no? So grasses which are 6 feet tall you can find. Then what else you can find? You can find plants usually which are fire and drought resistant. What does this mean? Fire resistant means when you try to, some plants now will easily catch fire, but these plants will not catch fire easily. They are designed in such a way, that is the adaptation of a grassland plant, that is they are not easily subjected to fire, they cannot catch fire easily, and also they are drought resistant, which means they can grow even with very little water. Whenever there is no water, you call that condition as drought, no? So here these plants can survive even in drought conditions. When water is not available also, with very little groundwater it can survive. They are resistant to these two conditions, to fire and drought. These plants are resistant. So some examples given are aster, cornflowers, sunflowers and wild indigo. This is wild indigo. Okay, these flowers what you have seen alone, I have given not seen alone, I have given picture. This is wild indigo, the purple one, and this is aster. This one is aster, and cornflower is this one. This is cornflower. Okay, so these plants are all common in grasslands. You do have many other plants in grassland habitat, but some of them which are more common are these flowers. Okay, so aster, cornflower, sunflower you know, no, that's why I have not given the picture, and wild indigo are some of the common plants found in grassland habitat. What about the animals? What animals can you see in grassland habitat? The most predominant one are the termites. It is actually insects, but it comes under animal kingdom. What are termites? In your garden or in some trees, all know, you can see the trees getting damaged by some small insects, that is called as termites. You must have seen in your, even in some houses, whenever there is moisture also, in moist places all, if there is some wooden cupboard or something, sometimes you get termites. Whenever the wood is wet, no, these termites will start damaging the wood, that is termite. And these termites are the insects which are common in grassland habitats. And apart from these termites, you can also find giraffes, zebras, rhinoceros, these all you know, no? So I have not given the picture. And gazelle, this is gazelle, like a type of deer it is. So gazelle and buffaloes also you can see in grassland habitats, and also elephants are common in grassland habitats. So what you know about the animals in a grassland habitat? The most common or predominant insect that exists in grassland habitat is the termite, this one. And then giraffes, zebras and rhinoceros also are found. Apart from that, gazelle, which is a type of bear, and buffaloes and elephants are all common animals in a grassland habitat. And apart from these animals, there are some more animals which are present in a grassland habitat. What are they? There is one more list given. There are predators such as lions and leopards. What is a predator? See, among animals itself, some are called predators and some are called prey. Okay, predator is an animal which will eat another animal. Say for example, if there are two animals like a cow and a lion or tiger, okay, or imagine like a goat and a lion or tiger. So here the predator is the lion because the lion can eat the goat. Can the goat eat lion? No, right? So the one which eats is called predator and the one which is being eaten, like the goat, is the prey. So here between the two animals, the predator is the lion and the prey is the goat, the one which is being killed and eaten, no? So that is called the prey. So here in this grassland habitat, there are many predators like lion and leopards. What they do? They kill the other animals existing in the grassland habitat. So the predators here are lions and leopards, and other animals found are jackals and hyenas. And animals like dogs, badgers and wolves are present. What are badgers? This is badger. Maybe this word is new to you, no? So I have included this picture. So this is a badger, and wolves, dogs, hyenas, jackal, leopards, all you know, I guess. And also there are foxes, owls and quail. Which is a quail? This is a quail. Okay, a bird variety is quail. Clear? So what are the animals, other animals found in grassland habitat? They have predators like lions and leopards, jackals, hyenas, animals like dogs, badgers, wolves, and also foxes, owls and quails are all common. Of course, other animals also you have, but compared to the other animals, these are the most predominantly existing ones in grassland habitat. Okay, all these while we have been learning only about the nature of a grassland habitat, no? So what is a grassland habitat, or the plants present in grassland habitat and the animals present in grassland habitat only we have studied all this time. What is our main topic? Our main topic is the adaptations in a grassland habitat, right? So how the plants and animals in a grassland habitat is getting adapted themselves to survive in this environment. There are 5 adaptations given in your textbook. Let us learn one by one. What are the 5 adaptations which is commonly present in a grassland habitat, or what the animals and plants in the grassland habitat apply to survive in that habitat we will be learning. So what is the first habitat? The first habitat is these plants belonging to grassland habitat have very long roots. Can you see in this picture? The roots are shown. See how deep it is, almost the size of the grass, the size of the roots are also present. So though usually what we think, we can even pluck the grasses, no? Suppose if you are sitting down, all we have the habit of plucking the grasses, right? So when we pluck the grass, usually the grass's roots also will come along with that, right? It will be so small only, usually grasses, but the grasses which are present in the grassland will have very long roots. How long? Almost the size of the grass it will have. So already I told you it is about 6 feet tall, right? So almost of that length, the length of the grasses, it is long, very long grass roots they have. Which one? The plants in grassland habitat will have very long roots. What is the advantage of having very long roots? So we are learning about adaptations, no? How these long roots help the plants in grassland habitat. They grow from the base. Base means very deep, from the deep region only it will start, not on the surface, but the roots will start from the base. So how the long roots help the plants? They prevent from grazing. Like even if the herbivore is going to graze, if it is going to feed the grass also, if the roots are present, no, again and again the grass can grow to some extent, no. But if the animal plucks the grass with the stronger strength, no, it may come out. If the roots are very small or if it is present only on the surface, when it pulls, the root also will come along usually. But since this type of roots is very deep, it cannot pull the roots along with the grass. So even if it is grazing, after some days or months, it will grow again. It will not be demolished, or it will not go into extinction. So that is what is meant. It prevents grazing because of the presence of deeper roots. And forest fire, suppose if there is a fire, okay, again the upper region will all get burnt, no, because of forest fires, the upper regions is going to get burnt. But if there are long roots, see, until you have roots in a plant, again and again the plant will have the ability to grow into a new plant. Even when you cut the top region, or when it is eaten by the animals, or when it is affected by forest fires also, whenever there is root, again the plant can grow freshly into a new one. So because of the long roots only, they are not getting demolished for permanent. They again and again grow and they remain forever. So this is the adaptation. First adaptation, the presence of long roots will help them or prevent them from being facing extinction. And then the second adaptation is narrow leaves. How the grasses will have leaves? The leaves are usually like this, right? Like this only you can find the leaves of the grasses. It is not this way usually, like the other leaves, it is not this way. It is like very thin and long usually, right? So like this only you will have leaves. So what is the advantage of having such leaves? Have you learned the process called as transpiration? What is transpiration? Transpiration is the loss of water through the leaves, no? So we have already learned, when you pour water to the plant, almost 90% of the water is lost by transpiration. Only 1% is used for photosynthesis in plants. All other water, whatever you pour to a plant, will be lost through the leaves to the atmosphere. It will go back to the atmosphere through the leaves. That process is called transpiration. So already we have learned there is only very little rainfall, no, in the grassland habitat. You already don't have proper rainfall. So in that, even the water what it is taken is released by transpiration. What will happen? The plant cannot survive, no. So this narrow leaves present in grassland habitat plants prevents a transpiration. Whenever there are broader leaves, it means there is going to be more transpiration, and whenever there is narrow leaves, it means there is less transpiration. So here the grassland habitat plants will have narrow leaves, so that there is very little transpiration, and so that the water is saved for the growth of the plant. So the loss of water through the leaves is called transpiration, which is very less in the grassland plants. Okay, so what is the second adaptation? The first adaptation, the presence of long roots will help them survive from forest fire or grazing. The second adaptation is the presence of narrow leaves will cause them to survive because there is very little transpiration. This is second adaptation. What is the third adaptation? The third adaptation is about animals. The first two was about plants, right? So the third adaptation is going to be about animals. What can you see here? There is a lion. It is behind what you have, there are actually grasses, like dried grasses. Usually the animals, especially the predators, I told you about predator and prey. No, what is predator? If some animal is going to kill another animal, that is called predator. Lion is a predator, I told you already, no. So these predators, what they do, they camouflage. Camouflage means they will take the color of the environment. See, it is going and sitting inside a dry grass so that it is not differentiated much, no. This also, if you see this portion, it is also appearing like a grass only. Okay, so usually predators camouflage themselves along with the surrounding habitat, that is in the grassland habitat, and silently they will attack the prey. So predators camouflage. Example, prairie dogs and lions camouflage so that they can hide and attack the prey. This will be like a hiding place. Even if it is sitting quietly, the prey will not realize that there is a predator, and so it may come near and it will go and attack the prey immediately. So the third adaptation is the predators in a grassland habitat camouflage themselves so that they can hide and then suddenly attack the prey. That's how they feed. So this is the third adaptation. So first adaptation, long roots. Second adaptation, narrow leaves. Third adaptation was camouflage by predators. What is the fourth adaptation? There is a process called gregariousness. So repeat this word 2-3 times. Okay, what is it? Gregariousness. Gregariousness. What does this mean? This means animals moving in groups together. So gregariousness is moving in groups. You must have seen in Discovery Channel all, no, animals moving in groups together. So what is the advantage? If animals are in groups together, the predators will not attack the animals when they are in groups. Those who are single only will be attacked easily. So predators can move away seeing them in groups. This is the fourth adaptation. And what is the fifth adaptation? The fifth adaptation is these animals have broad and long teeth, broad flat teeth, so that they can eat the grasses easily. Grazing animals can grind the grasses easily, and they also have a multi-chambered digestive system. Usually we have only one chamber. No, chamber means like compartments. We have only one compartment called stomach or a sac-like structure we have, but these animals will have different chambers, many compartments in their digestive system to store these grasses all and for undergoing the process of digestion. So the fifth adaptation is they have broad flat teeth so that the grazing animals can grind the grasses easily because of the presence of this type of teeth, and also for the helpfulness of their digestion, they have multi-chambered digestive system. So in today's class, what adaptations we have studied about? The first adaptation, presence of long roots which prevent from grazing and forest fires. The second adaptation, thin leaves, narrow leaves, so that transpiration is not happening more. And the third adaptation is gregariousness, which is moving together in groups will save them from predators. And the fourth adaptation is having broad flat teeth which helps them to grind grasses. And the fifth adaptation is camouflage of predators which will silently attack the prey. So these are some of the adaptations of grassland habitat. So in our next class we learn about adaptations in a desert habitat. So for your homework, what you are going to do, you are going to read page number 108. You have this topic in page number 108. Please read the lesson immediately after watching this lesson. Okay. So This is all for today's biology class. Until I meet you in your next biology class, you all take care and bye bye.